Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Okay, guys, so I was not able to do a live today for the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion part two. I was really hoping to, but unfortunately, I'm going to be headed. I mean, it's not unfortunate. I'm headed out of town. So, since I'm headed out of town, the time was just not working. I don't have a watch, but this is my non existent watch. And Jason was like, "You don't have time to do that." So, I was like, "Oh no, I have to put up something." So, I wanted to talk to you guys about last night's reunion. Before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, get subscribed. And also, the fact that Tamra Judge told Andy to shut the f up and be quiet. Woo! Let's get right into it.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys. So I wanted to start with the biggest moment of when Andy was throwing what Tamara was calling a wrench into the situation. And she told him to shut the f up and be quiet. And he was like, and he did. He went quiet. And I'm like, Tamra Judge. That was a moment for me. Like, we saw Vicky Gumbelson throw a fit on the show and we saw her get fired. We saw Brandy Glanville say, "F you," when he compared her to a dog with a bone and she got fired. We saw Carol Radziwill say to Andy, "What are you afraid of Bethany too?" And she got fired. So it made me think like, Tamara, is this the best move? But I think that Tamara right now knows her position on the show. And if you guys weren't watching last night, there were so many things to unpack, like especially between Shannon Bedore. Let's start with her because Shannon Bedore and Gina. Shannon had to answer for a lot last night, and Gina went ahead and called her out over the fact that, you all of the time like to bring up these things like you've been there for me. You had friends that were, inviting me with you to these different parties, and that was that day. But where have you been since? And Shannon was like, "I am such a bad friend, Gina. Scream about it." And I saw, and I'm really happy that Emily Simpson took up for Gina because I think that one of the most disgusting things that you can do is attack somebody's marriage, their business, or their kids. Most importantly, their children. And I don't have kids, but I don't think that it takes a genius to figure this one out. When you're putting things out there, Gina made a very valid point. Her kids are in the era of going into social media where they're going to see Gina Kirschenheider, Real Housewives of Orange County, children, CPS almost taken away. And she's going to have to answer for these things because Shannon brought them up. And I think that she made completely valid points and her argument against Shannon. And Shannon was like, "I am sorry, Gina. I am sorry. And I am going through my own things." And it's like, no, projector. That is not how this works for Shannon. You could tell that there are so many different things that are going on in her life behind the scenes, but it almost reminded me a little bit of Rachel Leviss in her interview with Bethany Frankel. Shannon Bedore was like, "John hurt me and he left, and he did leave. And he was promising like we wanted to take things to the next level. And then all of a sudden he dumped me. And this has been one of the hardest moments for me." Well, we know that Shannon, especially throughout the rest of, her DUI, hit and run arrest, everything, we have seen John Jansen right there next to her. But when she was asked about this, she's like, "No, we have gone our separate ways. And obviously, we're not together, Emily." But then it's like, Andy said, "Have you seen her or seen him? Are you in any sort of relationship? And is it like friends with benefits?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's like friends with benefits. Like occasionally we see each other." And he was like, "Know your self-worth." I agreed with Tamara in this moment when she was like, "I don't like him for her." I think more so instead of focusing on Jennifer Pedranti and her relationship with Ryan, let's focus on Shannon and her relationship with John Jansen. And one thing that she made a comment about that really kind of resonated with me for a second was the fact that she was like, you know, sometimes we have really tough conversations over money. One of the biggest rumors was that Shannon was paying for everything when it came to their relationship. She was the one forking over the majority of the money. And I wonder how true that is. There are so many people, especially it's not gender specific where you are a female taking advantage of a male or a male taking advantage financially of a female. I think that that could be anyone. And the rumor is that John Jansen had no problem letting Shannon Bedore hit the bill, take care of everything throughout the whole duration of their relationship. Now, where do they stand today? Apparently, based off of what Shannon said, they're friends with benefits because she is lonely at home. And I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to be an empty nester. So I'm not going to sit there and bash on her. But she also said, you know, a lot of people told me that he liked the cameras, and I never felt like that. I didn't feel like he liked the cameras until watching it back. And then I can see how uncomfortable he was with me in some of these conversations and how checked out he was. Yeah, girl. It's like it was as cringy as watching back, you know, some of the Lisa Linney footage on Real Housewives of Miami, where you could see that the one of the spouses was clearly checked out from the relationship. That is exactly what we were witnessing. Also, Heather Dubrow had no problem holding her own, and she called out everyone for their lies. And she also applauded Gina for standing up for herself. Jennifer Pedranti really kind of stayed quiet for the second part of the reunion, but Heather Dubrow had no problem being like, listen, wait a minute, hold on, Emily, I feel like you have attacked me relentlessly. And the fact that she even told Gina and Emily that they need to separate going into this season. And Gina was like, why are you saying that we need to separate? And she's like, because you need to have your own identities. Right now, you don't have your own identities. And I think that that's important. I agree with her 1,000,000%. It was like we were lumping you guys together, kind of like Giselle and Robin on the Real Housewives of Orange County. And that's an issue. But Emily, based off of the montage, the edited montage video, compilation video that they gave us, you could see where she bonded with Tamra, and she did come off, and I love Emily, and I think Shane's a great guy, but she did come off a little bit more aggressive this season. And I think that that's okay to say, especially with her best friend saying it to her too. But she was like, you, Heather, oh, am I not allowed to talk, Heather? And it was like, Emily, what are we doing right now? Because by the end of the reunion, part two, you could see where they were like, I love you and I really love you too. And this is what this is all about. It's about all of us coming together and finding some sort of resolve. You freaking ladies gave us all whiplash. And Bravo gave you the best reunion set ever. My biggest question is, though, is how, and Tamara right now is dealing with health issues, so I just want to exercise compassion, and this has nothing to do with that. They're totally isolated. I feel like Tamara being able to say to Andy Cohen, shut the fuck up and be quiet. Who else would get away with that? I was shocked. Guys, I'm going to hear what your thoughts are. Again, tomorrow I will be out of town, so no hot, messy topics. We will resume those back on Monday. And next week, next Friday, we're moving. So we're constantly on the go. So we'll figure it out. I'll keep you posted in the community tab. In the meantime, I love you guys. Smash that like button, show some love, and let me know what you thought about the Real Housewives of Orange County Reunion Part 2, and drop a rating. We'll see you next time.